The idea that the Earth is hollow is not a new concept. It began life in mythology and religion as a hell or a subterranean realm, and moved over to science around 1692 when Edmund Halley, the scientist that the comet is named after, suggested the Earth consisted of nested hollow spheres with atmospheres and glowing gas. He was taken seriously at the time. In 1818, John Cleves Symmes Jr. claimed that the poles of the Earth had giant openings leading to a habitable interior of the hollow Earth, a theory still popular today, and called Symmes Holes. Be cool.
One at each end, you say?
There is a monument dedicated to him that has a sphere on the top of it with a hole going straight through.
Is it at the North Pole?
No.
Does it have red and white stripes on it?
It is in Hamilton, Ohio, and it's actually his grave marker, too. There's a whole nother conspiracy around that, too.
A whole nother one?
A whole nother one. Today, people still believe that the Earth is hollow and claims that UFOs come from there and that their secret Nazi base is still operating there, and an advanced but ancient civilization with communication with all our current governments to keep them secret. Today, we'll be debating Hollow Earth.
We need the Unsolved Mysteries theme song in here, or like the X-Files.
I'm the best you've got.
I was thinking we need some kind of theme music for it, too. So, Noel, you won the coin flip, so today you'll be debating on the side of Hollow Earth.
Yep.
And Jared, you'll be debating against Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
An argument that has been brought up in favor of Hollow Earth is the idea that us as humans have yet to explore the entire Earth. Jared, how do you refute that?
You can't.
Give me a chance here. So we haven't explored the entire Earth. Of course we haven't explored the entire Earth. It's like trying to say that, I haven't explored this entire Jawbreaker. Yeah, it takes fucking time. You got to stick that thing in your mouth and suckle on it until the layers start degrading enough where you can get into the inside. You don't know what color it is in there. You don't know if it's a gumball or if it's a good one. Maybe a Tootsie Roll in there. You don't know.
We haven't sucked on the Earth long enough to find
exactly.
the
We're
inner
trying.
layers.
We're drill, baby, drill, and we're getting there, and we're sucking it out.
That's what we're actually doing, is we're emptying out the oil, creating a chasm from which to explore from, like a baseline.
Oh, we're creating the hollow.
We're creating the hollow Earth to explore the deeper hollow Earth.
Gotcha. So how does this help your argument? How do you fight against? I guess you just did. Never mind. Let's move on.
No, bullshit. No, we haven't explored it enough.
Yeah.
We haven't explored it enough. So every day we dig into the Earth and we're cracking open gases and liquids and minerals and shit like that. Have we ever found a giant hole that leads to another ecosystem? Fuck no. We've drilled kilometers.
Giant caves. What are you talking about? There's giant
caves.
There's
not there's small ecosystems, but there's not atmospheres down there. We have not run into a single thing that tells us that there's a whole nother large ecosystem down there.
Well, there's two things. In the ocean, there are deeper oceans of liquid methane underneath the ocean, which is an ocean of itself. And in the crust, there's physical cavities stretch miles that had never even been.
How do you know that?
Because I did my research.
You
There's
did
caves.
research. Oh,
there's
you found
big ass caves.
So you've already proved Hollow Earth.
I didn't prove Hollow Earth.
But if you found empty cavities down there full of gases and peoples, you must have proved Hollow Earth.
I didn't find any people.
So you haven't proved shit.
I'm saying that it's very possible to have large open areas, giant open areas. There's underground lakes that you can sail on a river.
Sail on. Oh, okay.
Not sail, not with the wind, but you know what I mean.
Right.
You can take a boat, Howell Caverns, you can take a boat ride through an underground lake.
So the argument is that not having explored the entire Earth is not a good argument in the case of Hollow Earth, and you're saying that it is a good case. Very good. Now, those against Hollow Earth argue that the Earth's mass is known, and therefore there are scientific facts related to that wouldn't hold true if the Earth was hollow, like space travel and other forms of travel.
What do you mean space travel? What's space travel have to do with Hollow Earth?
Leaving
Wrong conspiracy,
the planet.
man. Wrong conspiracy. We're not doing that one today.
Anyway, how do you respond to that?
There are some studies that show that that same information can also reflect how Earth is hollow. And I don't mean like completely hollow and like the inside has just disappeared and it's gone. Or maybe it is. I don't know. It could be a web of support structures with a lot of caves, Or maybe it is completely hollow in the middle, but there's a reason for it. Like we all know how planets form. Natural formation of planets is, particles gather, they start swirling, they heat up, they turn into a planet, they take the form of a sphere. That's the natural formation. What if there's an unnatural formation that takes place that makes a planet hollow?
Would that happen naturally?
No, that's why I said it's an unnatural formation.
So how the hell did it happen?
There's a couple of theories. So just like we don't know what's at the middle of a black hole, there are theories. What if, gravity is affected by mass, and if the mass coalesces in the middle, the heavier parts stay in the middle, gives it more gravity to attract more material, and it builds layer, more and more, turns into a swirling hot mass. What if something happens early on where all the mass is concentrated in the shell? It would pull from the middle towards the outside and from the outside towards the shell.
All right. I think I understand what you're saying, is that the Earth has always been hollow during our studies, and therefore our mass is based on that.
Let's go with that. Yeah, that's good. Thank you for that.
But that doesn't make sense. So we've been able to calculate exactly how much gravitational force our planet would have based on our calculations on its circumference, its diameter, its shape, and its chemical makeup and mineral makeup.
Yep.
And we can calculate how much force it takes to launch a rocket off of our planet and hit a tiny little speck of a asteroid out in space.
Yeah.
And you're saying that because our calculations saying it's made of this mineral throughout all these layers of Earth that we have been able to measure, so that's a few kilometers of crust that we've been able to drill through and excavate.
Yeah.
And our estimations of what must lie beyond throughout the rest of it that we have not explored, you're saying that portion should be or could be empty.
But
wouldn't that mess up our calculations on how we need to get escape velocity and how much energy we need to explore space in that matter?
Yeah, but they've also argued that there are some scientists that believe, and actually they all believe, I think, that Earth's gravity seems to be weaker than it should. And I have no explanation for the calculations of leaving the atmosphere and fighting against Earth's gravity and all.
Well, I think you kind of hit on it a little bit. You were kind of saying that perhaps all the density, perhaps the crust is denser than we imagine.
Yeah, but there are other studies that show through, what is it, scalar waves? Is that what they use to measure the inside diameter? And I don't know the fucking math behind it, but
well, I mean, it's simple math. If you have an object that's, let's say, 10 centimeters round, and it has a weight of 15 pounds, and you know that the outer centimeter consists of mass that only weighs X amount per gram or X amount per volume,
Yep.
You know that the inside must be a more dense or a less dense. It must be a different mineral makeup or a different mass to make up for the fact that the outer layers are not as dense. Knowing that mass and knowing our escape velocity and being able to look back at our planet and know exactly how big it is because we have photographed our planet from beyond its own atmosphere, we can calculate that it must be filled with iron. It must be filled with molten iron and rock, and it can't be hollow. It has to have that mass somewhere. Yep. And for the amount of mass that must be there, it takes up a large portion of the inside of the Earth.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, the density in the middle.
That's a strong argument. I'm going to give you a minute to respond to that before we move on.
It's hard arguing the pro side of this. What if we're wrong?
Ooh, you haven't thought about that one, did you?
Think about that.
Dude, you got to dig into the conspiracy side of this. I already gave you them ammo for it. There's a conspiracy saying all the governments are tied in and the people down there are living. So you got to tell us that they're feeding us the information. Come on, why am I arguing his shit?
Wasn't there a group of
the governments? The government's working with.
I'm not going to go into
Jeff
government, government conspiracy stuff because that just makes me sound crazy.
Too close to home.
You're supposed to sound crazy.
So,
you're trying to do this for real.
What I am going to say,
I'm supposed to sound crazy because I'm the wrong one.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying that there's different ways to look at that data. And if you look at it from a certain angle, it might prove that the Earth is hollow, or at least some sort of web-like structure.
Like the infill on a 3D print.
Sure. Exactly like that.
This is a very shaky argument you've created. Let's move
You
on
could
to
say it doesn't have much support structure.
like it's hollow.
It's a very hollow argument.
Hollow argument.
All right. Another argument that those in favor of Hollow Earth make is that our magnetic and gravitational anomalies exist that science cannot explain. Do you care to
Cite examples?
No, you're supposed to be fighting against it.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting for you to cite examples.
Oh, you want me to cite it?
There are
This is not-
anomalies.
It's not my argument. It's their argument.
Yeah,
It's their argument.
without cited arguments, I don't feel like this is needed of a response. No, that's right. Let's say here. So there are forces that are supposed to be coming from our Earth that are not explainable, or
They don't fit the calculations.
they don't fit the calculations. Yeah. Okay. Now, are these statements made over the scientific method? Like, are all the anomalies that could have happened during these measurements being accounted for? Let's say solar flares or instrumentation calibrations. Or are these being done by a Boy Scout in his backyard?
Sounds like a swamp gas argument to me. Like, it's just swamp gas.
It's your argument.
No, but I'm allowed to.
So I would like to see the data that they retrieved and make sure that it is actually a correlation causation problem here.
That's a good point.
How many scientists agree on that? Is it like 1 out of 10 scientists says that
I won this argument. He's already on my side.
the calculations don't add up? 1 out of 10 dentists recommend this. Don't
to brush with sugar.
You're supposed to be arguing for this point.
I'm the wild card. I can
No,
go back
that's
and
not
forth.
what this is supposed to be.
All right, fine.
So I understand.
There are
what you-
anomalies you can't explain, Jared.
Wait, hang on. Let me address him, and then I'll give you a chance to rebuttal his argument. That's a very good point, Jared. Yes, did they account for every possible outside interference in their recordings? I don't know. Noel?
Science is an ever-evolving thing. What's true today is not going to be true tomorrow. We're going to come up with some new technology that's going to be able to penetrate the crust of the Earth, and we're going to be able to see what's really there through data interpretation.
Data interpretation.
Yeah, we're gonna be able to get feedback. We're gonna come out with some new scalar wave or something that can penetrate ground. We have ground penetrating radar that can tell us, a little bit of what's under there. There might be new calculations in the future, and those anomalies might fit into that, and it might turn stuff on its head and be like, oh, hey, maybe the center isn't as dense as we thought, and that's why
Interesting.
gravity seems weaker than it should be. And
Someday we'll have technology that tells us you're not as dense as we thought.
I'll be dead way before then.
So an argument made against the idea of a hollow Earth is the fact that volcanoes exist and that the liquid hot magma that comes out of these volcanoes is in fact part of our core. How do you respond to that?
The Earth is a big place. It's very possible for, when you compare, when you're talking about a lava lake underneath a couple of miles underneath the ground, yeah, there's space for that, but there's also space beyond that could be hollow.
But is it not possible that the core could be liquid hot magma?
It's possible. Yeah. Like that leads me back to the many caves part of it. The many caves part of it, it's still technically more hollow than it is.
So you're saying that perhaps the Earth isn't entirely hollow, but there are pockets of hollowness.
A lot of hollowness.
Be thy name.
Like the printer thing you said. The printer support.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You've been playing too much Minecraft.
The lattice structure.
Do you want to rebuttal this in favor of volcanoes?
Yeah, so it's not just volcanoes, but it's these lava lakes are actually what makes the Earth so unique. We can look back in time and through fossil records and things buried in the ground to find that our continents were once one big continent. And if we were a hollow Earth where you couldn't float on these lava lakes, this molten core of iron and rock, then the continents wouldn't be able to shift around like they do. New land masses wouldn't come projecting out of the ocean. Or God forbid we get a hole in the bottom of the ocean where all this water could just possibly go into this new atmosphere that's below us in the hollow Earth, and we lose all the water in the ocean.
Well, technically the water would go in and out.
How would it go out? You've already said that the gravity is still there, pulling us toward the center of the mass.
It might be pulling us towards this. Exactly. So once
but
the
the
water
mass-
goes in, it'll follow the gravity also pulling out towards the mass.
Well, that would
If there's no
really
mass-
mess up our calculations for escape velocity then, because it would be different escape velocities for different portions of each part of the land that you're on, depending on how much elevation you have over sea level. Because your mass would be more concentrated at mountainous areas.
That's already a thing. Mass is already more concentrated in over mountain areas and over low-lying and at sea level, and it's already there.
The same amount of gravity is affecting you at 300 feet above sea level, whether you're standing on ground or whether you're standing on nothing. If you're 300 feet above the ground, 300 feet above sea level, and above the ground, the same amount of gravity is affecting you as if you were 300 feet above sea level, but still standing on a mountain or a hill, in that matter.
Oh, on the micro scale, yeah, yeah. On that tiny little scale, compared
is this one of those
compared to the
technologies
giant
that
mass,
you were
compared
coming
to
up
the
with?
giant mass of Earth, yeah.
This is very, very good. Very good stuff. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So, speaking of going back in time, there are ancient myths and legends that have existed in folktale for a very long time that describe an underworld. How do you explain that?
I can explain that.
Please, go ahead.
Those were people being affected by natural gas leaks in caves that they were hiding in from predators. They imagined all that.
So they found like the sub-basement of the underworld.
That was all
basically
crazy
just
talk.
the place where... Oh, thank you. All right.
Those were
Yes,
hallucinations.
that's how I respond to this.
Those were hallucinations.
You are supposed... All right.
You may lie?
I rest
You
my
may lie?
case. Nothing else further, Your
but no,
Honor.
there are records of some very old civilizations talking about, they called them ant people that lived underground. They would come out and try to not associate with the ground, with the surface dwellers, with us. They can't all be suffering from gas sickness. They can't all be idiots.
Any response to that, Jared? Do you think the
I
ant people were real in the myths?
feel like the imagination of early people and even people today is a very powerful thing. It allows us to... We can make these ideas to explain the things that we don't yet understand. One of those things being because early man couldn't get down through the ground like we can today with mechanical buckets and drills and excavators. They have to imagine what was down there and try to explain what could have been down there, like a methane leak coming from a cave. It really stinks. Well, what would stink underground? A primitive man might say, well,
Satan.
Exactly. Satan might be down there, and that's the imagination that they would have. Or it could have even been an effect of the gas leak, depending on what it was, and making them hallucinate something, and then coming back and telling their family and their friends, hey, guess what I saw?
Yeah,
You'll
but
never guess this.
a lot of them hallucinated for sport.
For sport. It was a competition.
They went on a lot of spirit walks. They had ayahuasca. You know what I mean? I feel like after that, they can differentiate between...
I think there's a town called Ayahuasca in Michigan.
I'm starting to
That's
feel...
a Skoda. Never mind.
I'm starting to feel that Jared's argument is so strong that it's starting to pull you away from your core beliefs.
My core beliefs. This was
His
a coin
uncore
toss.
belief, you mean?
But you're supposed to be...
You're right. I know.
That's all right. I got the next one.
Okay,
right?
what's the next one?
So an argument against hollow earth and Symmes's holes, be cool, is that we have direct observation of the poles now with satellite imagery and views from space. And
Yeah,
so
we
on.
also have direct observation of Area 51. Oh, no, we don't. We don't. So that blows that right out of the water there.
So you're saying there's some kind of government conspiracy covering up the fact that we have another atmosphere below our current atmosphere?
Are you saying government conspiracies don't exist?
I'm saying, do you think there is an entire world, a government conspiracy? Every government on world is able to keep this a secret.
Yes, because of mutually assured destruction.
From what? The awesome technology
What do you like
that
to
they
know?
supposedly have down there?
Yeah, you got to keep it under wraps, or otherwise they won't have their boots on our throat. Who needs a government if you have free energy?
Who said they got free energy down there? Are we walking
Are you
on
saying
people
they
boxes
don't?
here?
Are you saying they don't?
I don't think they
All that
exist.
lava?
Well, they would be a highly advanced ancient civilization capable of UFO
No,
travel.
that's just what you've told us, that they'd be a highly
Correct.
advanced
This is-
ancient civilization.
So, I mean, that does support Noel's argument. So that was a good rebuttal. Noel touched a bit on this earlier, is the fact that science keeps changing. And that's why we don't know if Earth is hollow. Do you have a response for that?
Yes, I do. The science keeps changing, and that's why we do know that the Earth is solid. Like you said, early man used to think that the core of the Earth was hollow. There used to be worlds underneath us, multiple levels of worlds in some cases. And technology today has proven beyond doubt that there is a solid core. Yes, there are caves. Yes, there are pockets of gas, but there is no civilization below us on the next level down. It's the crust of the Earth is where we live. Next level down is just rock, mineral, and molten goodness.
Molten goodness.
Like a lava cake.
Like a lava cake. Burns your mouth.
I already forgot what the question was. What did you just say? Can you repeat that?
You just respond to what Jared said.
How lava or how science keeps changing. It would be arrogant of us to just assume what's true today is going to be true 50 years from now. That's the whole point of science, is to prove and disprove and build on past experiments.
So you're saying that in the future we will discover that the Earth is hollow?
That, or we might discover something even crazier about the Earth.
Okay.
What if the moon was mined out of the Earth and put into orbit? Look at his face. I just opened up a whole other
not going to lie, I really like that thought.
Can you imagine?
I'd love that. Just bloop, they pulled the core.
They're like,
hey, fucking ripped out the heart of
the underground civilizations. They
had to
did
put
their
that
math.
dirt somewhere, right?
Well, they did their math. They're like, hey, you know what? There's going to be a lot of water on the surface once these volcanoes are done erupting. A lot of our water came from volcanoes, by the way, in early Earth formation. Did you know that? Do you know a lot of our liquid water came from volcanic eruptions?
Did it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So they're like, we need to offset. We need something for the tidal waves and to balance out the water on the Earth. So they're like, oh well, let's take some of the center and put it out in outer space in a perfect orbit. By the way, a perfect orbit.
Gotta stop doing that. As much as I appreciate the awesomeness of this sci-fi idea that you have, it's just not feasible. I mean,
of course not for us.
The idea that a previous civilization mined out or at least removed the core of the Earth to make the moon would mean there would be remnants somewhere of the tools they use or the process they use to do that somewhere.
Well, we don't even have remnants of tools that built the pyramids, and we know we did that. So there's no remnants for that. There's no remnants for people on the inside of the Earth. I mean, come on, you gotta say that's pretty good.
We do have remnants.
Good,
right? Remnants of how they built the pyramid.
There isn't a single hieroglyph. These people catalog the grain growth of every month. There isn't a single hieroglyph that states how they built the pyramid, what tools they use, how to design the tools.
Okay. I feel like we're drifting into a different topic here. A topic for another day. Let me write this down real quick.
The pyramids? We're going to argue over the pyramids? God, I hope I get pro on that one too.
So the final argument against hollow Earth is that gravity pulls inward, and if the Earth was hollow, it would collapse on itself.
There is nothing in the center of gravity to pull inwards. I mean, there's nothing at the center of Earth to pull inwards.
You did touch on that, saying that the mass was all...
If the mass is all located, and we're talking miles and miles, thousands of miles of crust. Is it thousands or hundreds? I don't know.
You tell me.
I don't know
how big is the hole.
But
how big is Simms's hole?
If you could snap your fingers, and make the majority, or I don't know, give it a percentage, 20, 30, 35% of the inside of the mass just disappeared of Earth. And all that was left was, the outer crust. The outer crust is way more dense than the nothing inside of the Earth. So if you were to transport yourself on the inside, walking around the inside of the sphere, you would also be being pulled towards the center of that crust.
The halo theory.
No, the halo has its gravity from spinning, doesn't it? That's artificial gravity.
Well, we are also spinning.
We're spinning, but that's not what gives the mass is what gives the Earth its gravity.
Holy shit! Are we the inside people?
Did you just shift?
I'm just glad I'm arguing hollow Earth and not flat Earth. I have no idea how I would argue that.
Do you want to rebuttal his claim?
I'm trying to see where his head was going first. I gotta
I know, that was
cite this
kind of
back in
all
my
over the
head.
place. Do you want me to repeat what the argument was?
Yeah, just give me the theme real quick. Just give me the keyword.
Hollow Earth would collapse
Got
on
it.
itself.
Okay. Yeah. Hollow Earth would collapse on itself. Putting aside all the arguments that I've already made toward where we touched on this subject previously, the idea that the Earth would be so perfect in its structural arch to be able to hold itself together in this ball formation without collapsing in on itself at some point, the odds of that are so astronomical.
Well, you got to remember the Earth is also spinning, so there's a little bit
of your turn.
There's a little bit of centrifugal force helping keep that crust from collapsing in and of itself,
which would also pull the poles toward each other, so it would help it collapse in on itself. So the idea that we are so perfectly aligned with the moon's gravity isn't pulling a certain portion of the Earth away to make that spot weaker. The poles aren't compressing toward each other because of the spinning force of the Earth, causing them to collapse in on each other. And the fact that meteors and asteroids have hit the Earth and we haven't punched a giant hole tells me that the idea of an inner and outer living space, like a basketball or a spherical donut, is not feasible. I'm not going to say it's not impossible, because I do like the idea. It goes along right up there. Hey, let's remove the moon from the Earth, and now we got more living space, and we don't have to worry about asteroids.
Like that. I came up with that on the spot.
That's good. I can tell. You mean you've researched this?
Oh,
deeply.
very intensely. Yeah.
The idea that we could survive on this Earth throughout all the cataclysms that we have had, and the Earth has never collapsed in on itself, tells me that idea is not all that likely. And that's what I have to say about that.
Thank you, Jared. This was quite a lively debate. I'd like to give you both an opportunity to try to convince our listeners to choose your side, starting with Noel. Really? Speak directly to our listeners and let them know why they should agree with you.
Why they should agree with Hollow Earth. Why not? Wouldn't life be cooler if there was a race of advanced beings on the inside of the Earth controlling our lives? We could blame everything on them in conjunction with our governments. We could have free energy, but our government made a deal with the inside people to keep it away from us so that the government could be in control, because everyone likes power.
Thank you. Thank you. That was a good argument.
Thank you.
I think a lot of people are going to like that one. Jared, why should our listeners agree with your argument?
So, listen. If you want to believe that there's another race of beings that's controlling the goods and the bads of our life, and the amount of technology that we're allowed to have or not allowed to have based on their whims and their interaction with our governments, you can go ahead and believe that. But I'm going to take this time to believe what my science has taught me and what others' science has reinforced. And I'm going to move forward. I'm going to say that, yes, this Earth has a finite lifespan. Yes, we need to get off of it, and we need to continue working with it. We can't just continue to beat the hell out of it and make up stories that may or may not be true, but the repercussions are always going to be there. We can't move on and say, well, if we ever get too bad where the Earth would get destroyed, the inner people will save us. That's just not going to happen. They're not going to save us, and they're not going to get saved because they don't exist. You have to take...
You can't prove that.
This is his time.
You have to take advantage of the time that you have on this Earth to enjoy what you can see, what you can feel, and what you can live through. If you're going to believe that there's something on the inside and have that kind of... If you're going to believe that there's someone on the inside controlling your every movement, or even just the basic how a life works for humans, you're just going to be paranoid your entire life, and you're going to miss all this life that's going on around you. It may not be the greatest Earth that we have. Maybe there's a better one on the inside, but this one still has its good spots, and that's the part I'm going to enjoy. You can join me if you want.
Thank you, Jared. That was very well said. Thank you. So, listener, there you have it. Hollow Earth, is it true? Is it not? I think we all know. But why don't you tell us what you believe? You can reach us at podcast@betweenthestates.com. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
What? That's insanity.